I need to learn Japanese in 20 days. Is it possible? I don't know. Let's find out and learn together. Now, 20 days doesn't seem like a lot of time. I know that, but I'm going to Japan in 20 days, so I don't have more time. Now, I'm not trying to learn the whole language here, just the basics that I can use to live and say things that I need to say, like, donde está la bathroom? Just enough to get me by in Japan. Watch me fail or watch me succeed. It's a journey you won't want to miss. Here's the game plan. I've got a friend. His name is Matt. He was in Japan a couple months ago and he stayed there for 3 months. If there's anybody who can help me learn the basics of the Japanese language, it's Matt. Because I don't really know anybody else who speaks Japanese. I'll be showing you exactly what I'm learning and practicing. Preferably, if you do this, take more than 20 days. Let's call him now. Yo, are you back from Japan?
Yeah, dude.
Can you teach me Japanese?
Japanese? All of a sudden?
Yeah. Thank you. We're gonna meet up with Matt.
Now? John, I'm not free now. John.
This is Matt. He's been learning Japanese for what I would say a millennia, and he would say
6 years, I guess.
Oh, that's actually longer than I thought. Seriously.
You just said you thought of millennia.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's way shorter than a millennia.
Oh gosh.
To get to where I was before I left, you don't necessarily have to study 6 years.
Okay, that's good because we're doing it in 2 weeks, 20 days actually.
20 days?
20 days. That's all we have. Yeah. All right. Tell us why you should be our sensei.
2022 December, I took this test called the JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It's a test for foreigners. Yeah. Level 1 means that you're like really good.
But so level 5 is like...
Level 5 is like you're learning your first 500 words. I passed level 2.
What am I striving for in 20 days?
For a 20-day thing, I'm like, okay, we got to get you like survival phrases, learn at least one of the alphabets.
Like how many letters in this alphabet?
46. Basically, there are 3 alphabets in Japanese. There's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah, kanji. Right?
Hiragana and katakana, those are both phonetic. Each one is 1 syllable. But kanji, it's like a picture. It's like instead of writing the word chicken, you draw a picture of a chicken.
But that doesn't look like a chicken. That's slightly resemble. Oh, it does look like it?
No, okay, no. It doesn't necessarily look like it. There are some that do. We'll put those up later.
How many hours would you suggest? I was prepared to do 2 hours a day.
I think between 2 and 3 hours might be okay. Remember, you're not using all of these hours to learn new stuff. Some of it, like maybe a third or I don't know, 25% is going to be towards learning new information, but a lot of it is going to be reinforcing. We'll see where this goes with the game plan, which you guys will see on screen.
Right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, we can do it so quickly.
Or not. We can take it down.
No, put it back up. Put it back up.
Okay.
Okay.
Step 1.
Getting learning resources. Mostly apps, honestly.
Okay.
Or if you want to try consuming media, finding animes that are easy, finding YouTube videos that are for kids. I would get like bedtime stories and I would have it playing while I'm falling asleep. And I would memorize it like that, honestly. You retain information well, apparently, when you do it right before bed.
That's weird.
Not while you're sleeping. The next step would be like hiragana, at least, and pronunciation basics. Basically how to not read hiragana like a foreigner. They have 5 vowel sounds. A, I, U, E, O.
A, I, U, E, O. I can do that.
When you're practicing it, it's weird to say, but try to speak as if you're making fun of a Japanese person trying to speak English.
Okay.
Like, so you're actually trying to imitate the accent.
Yeah,
you know
the problem is I'm not good at accent.
I know, I thought this was going to be a problem, actually. You know, it's baka, like those are sounds.
Yeah.
You're not going to say baka. You don't like anglicize the sounds like ba. Okay. In English, we have these things called diphthongs. Okay. It's not as dirty. It's not as dirty as it sounds. Like, you know, when you say words like at, usually the Americans do this more, but they'll say like at. That stuff doesn't exist in Japanese. Every letter represents just 1 syllable.
Okay, I understand. So people don't really have these different types of accents in Japanese because it would just get too confusing?
Yeah. Common and relevant vocabulary. So if we just went with common, you might get vocabulary that's irrelevant to your goals. That's why I added relevant.
That's smart.
Both coming out of your mouth and what you're going to hear from them. A lot of people make the mistake. They'll learn all the right responses and questions, but they won't learn what the other people says back to them. So it's like, oh wow, I finally got out a sentence. Then they'll hear a Japanese person like,
yeah.
Building sentences, kind of like plug and play. Words that have to be there in the sentence, and then you can fill in these 2 blanks.
Like bathroom, where?
Yeah, as long as you know like the formulation to put where, you could put any word before it, and it means like, where is this? Then common phrases. There are a lot of phrases in Japanese that are like set. I experienced this firsthand when I went to a convenience store for the first time in Japan. Like, it feels like almost NPC. Like, they always say the same things, which is good for a learner. Would you like a bag? Next in line, please. If you don't understand that, it's like...
Yeah.
And then with these, create situations. How are you feeling about this as a journey?
It's a little bit intimidating, not gonna lie. I think having a 20-day period is short enough that you can like just grind it like crazy. And I'm hoping this actually starts a series that I can learn Italian properly. And then
You're going to be a polyglot YouTuber, one of those guys.
What is that? I need to learn English too.
But polyglots are people who like speak a lot of languages.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do full language. Fluent Italian, French, I know enough. And I just so you know, I don't know that much, but to get by in Quebec at least, you know?
If it feels like it is too much and it doesn't feel realistic,
Yeah.
we'll have to adapt it. Because like I'm not actually a sensei.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah. But you know what? 2 hours a day, I think it's obtainable for anybody. A lot of people think they don't have time, but I see how much time I spend on my phone. I have time, whether I'm on the toilet or if I'm just walking somewhere, you know?
That's how I started, man. Duolingo on the toilet. That's like
Nice.
that's the ritual.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's
Yeah,
just go
man.
into the detailed game plan and this will make sense. Detailed
Let's do
game
it.
plan, okay?
Oh, wow. Nice.
Important verbs, important places.
And to me, that's all Chinese, and it's to me, it's all Japanese.
But honestly, the only reason this might look overwhelming to you is just because you can't read yet.
Considering it's time to read, we need our reading glasses.
I feel like we needed a cool phrase for that. Can you do that thing like when they do like the shiny glasses?
It's time to read. We thoroughly went through all of Matt's study resources, went through a couple verbs, but we're going to get to that a little later. Let's get straight to the point and learn some common phrases.
Common phrases?
Thank you very
So,
much.
do you know-
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Oh!
Do you need a bag? Say that one.
Fukura wa goryou desu ka?
Oh my god, it's so cool. Say more words. It's
Say
so
more words. So this is one that you're going to say really often. It means kind of like no thanks or I'm fine. Daijoubu desu.
Cool. Okay, des is like either it's or like a me thing.
It ends a sentence that is a statement.
Okay.
Basically, the nuance is that it's polite.
And the U is silent. It's not desu, it's just des.
The next one is like if you're asking for something, kind of like a really nice please. Onegai shimasu.
Oh wow, that's tough. Wow, I can't even replay that in my brain. Onegai shimasu.
The next one is very popular. You use it for almost anything. Sumimasen.
Sumimasen. Yes, I've
You know
heard
it?
that one too. I heard that one, yeah.
It basically means sorry. Excuse me. So it's like, oh, if you bump into someone, oh, sumimasen. You might know this one actually. It's not particularly important, but it's nice to know, like, culturally.
Itadakimasu?
Yeah, itadakimasu. So itadakimasu is something you say before the meal. It's kind of like in French, we have bon appétit. It literally means, like, I humbly receive this meal.
Oh, it's like saying grace, I guess.
It comes up a lot in anime. Whenever they're sitting for a meal, itadakimasu.
Ah, that's quality information.
So we have our who, what, where, when, why,
Nice.
plus how much and how.
Dare, nan, doko, itsu, nande, ikura, doyatte. Do they roll their R's?
It's like 75% L.
Oh, so it's more L than R?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll understand you. Even if you say ikura desu ka, they'll understand you.
Okay, good. Nice.
Any of these combine somehow or another to these, to desu ka or
Nice.
masu ka.
I like
So basically, if you say dare desu ka, what do you think that means?
Who are you?
Exactly.
Oh,
How
it's
about-
pretty simple
How
then.
about nan desu ka?
What is this? Deska is like saying des, but with the ka is
Yeah,
the question. Ah.
And you still like your pitch still goes up at the end, like you ask
so
a question.
that's
Desu
good.
ka?
Sensei deska?
Yeah.
Deska?
Are you a teacher?
Yeah.
Are you a sensei? Yeah.
And he's not a teacher. Oh, he's a drum teacher. If you want to learn how to play drums in drum language, in English, Japanese, and
English and French and Japanese, I guess.
and Greek. You don't.
No.
You don't know Greek?
No.
I feel like you speak Greek all the time.
Only when my mom tells me off. My Japanese is way better than my Greek.
Really? You're the polygon.
The reason I have two of these here is because desu ka is when it comes right after a noun, and masu ka has to come after a verb.
So basically, I can use this as a cheat sheet and slap it in a deska or maska, like nande deska or nande ikimaska.
It doesn't change anything of the meaning. It just changes the nuance from casual to a bit polite.
Oh, okay.
So,
But casual is not to speak to strangers?
no.
So polite, always strangers. Casual is just friends.
Yeah.
Is there anything below friends?
You have like,
Rude?
yeah, you have
Yes.
rude. Like, it could be fun if you just pop it out in the middle of a polite conversation. Like, you jerk. And then this one is like basically for asking people if they have stuff. Arimasu ka?
Arimasu ka?
If you think about it musically, the amount of hiragana that you have here, each one of them is one beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. is going to be do, ya, te. That's where the extended sounds come in.
So the little character is an extended sound, and also some doubled characters.
Instead of yate, it yatte.
So I'm muting. I'm muting.
You're muting.
Yeah,
You're muting right before the T.
Do ya te.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Yeah.
Stupid rest symbol.
You can read music.
The rest symbol, the hats, upside. Yeah, only a couple ones, but I can read those.
Those are the perfect terms.
Yeah.
The basic sentence is going to be something something wa, something
Nice.
something des.
Wow.
Yeah. So an easy word that you'll remember, a restaurant is restaurant. Or even more basic, we could take off the wa. Restaurant des means this is a restaurant.
Oh, restaurant desu ka would mean, is this a restaurant?
Is this a restaurant? Yeah.
So basically, I can use a verb from this list and just slap it in there, like restaurant ikimasu ka.
Yeah. That would kind of come off as like, do you want to go to a restaurant?
Oh,
Yeah. So we can get back into that thing that we wrote before with the wa.
okay. And wa means what?
It doesn't really have a translation.
Okay.
Okay. And for the most part, you could possibly leave it out. It's called a particle. It basically just says that this previous word is the subject of your sentence.
Okay, that's good to know.
So, restaurant, wa, I'm talking about the
Wa,
restaurant.
wa.
When we add the wa, it means that we're going to add something before the
Oh,
this.
restaurant wa doku desu ka?
Doko.
Doko desu ka?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool. Phonetically, it's a fun language to perform. It's like really fun to just talk.
Let's say you want to go to Kyoto. Oops. I mean, you wouldn't just ask, where's Kyoto? But like, Kyoto wa.
Kyoto wa. Oh, wow. I sounded real. Did I? I thought like I sounded real. Yeah, like a real Japanese speaker. Desu ka, you can't put that into a word. It just means this is a question.
Yeah. None of the words that are here
Actually mean anything.
But that's also the difference between casual and polite Japanese. So like, I don't need the desu ka or even the wa. Before we said, restaurant wa doko desu ka? If I was talking to a friend, I would say, restaurant doko. Let's think of something. Do you know any Japanese foods?
Onigiri.
Oh, nice. Onigiri.
Onigiri wa arimasu ka?
Arimasu ka?
Arimasu ka? Onigiri wa arimasu ka?
It's funny because like do you have onigiri? But it's funny, I was going to say, because like, you know how English has emphasis? If you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllables,
Yeah.
you won't understand. No, wait,
French.
that one was good. French, the stress usually comes on the last syllable. Like
Okay.
us, it's toilet, them it's toilette.
Oh,
I
yeah.
say them as if I'm not part of them. But. So Japanese has something, basically that's the same thing. It's called pitch accent. It's not arimasu ka. You know, it's arimasu ka.
Arimasu ka?
Yeah, it's just because there are some words that if you mess up
Wow.
the pitch accent, it means something completely different. Japanese people, when they speak, they don't move their mouth a lot.
Oh, that's good to know.
So when it's a wa, we're not making a circle with our mouth. Well, I say we as if I'm Japanese. They're not making circles with their mouths. They're not saying wa.
So if I think of speaking Japanese, then make my mouth move less.
That could be one way of thinking of it, yeah. I actually wrote some of the examples for pitch accent stuff, okay?
Okay.
So these ones are called kami. Have you heard this word?
Sounds like from Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Kami. So kami, with the stress on the first word, means God. Yeah. So basically in Dragon Ball, the guy's just called God. But if you put the stress on the second syllable, kami, it means paper.
Kami kami, paper god.
Kami.
Kami kami, kami kami.
So
Kami
that-
kami 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 kami.
I knew that was going to come out right when I said that. God damn it. So there's a similar clause with hashi and hashi. Hashi means chopsticks.
That's good to know.
Hashi means a bridge.
Somebody needs to make a cartoon, a foreigner speaking language and asking for chopsticks in the bridge way.
In the bridge. We could plug this in this formula right here.
Hashi.
Hashi wa arimasu ka?
Hashi wa arimasu ka?
Nice copying.
Thanks. You should just come with me and say the things. No,
Just say. You have a receiver. Have you ever heard of kudasai?
Is it that please as well?
Yeah. So remember we said wa is kind of like a particle that makes it the subject. There's another one called o.
Oh,
Sore, for example. If we change it to o,
dore o kudasai.
exactly. That means, can I have that?
My tone of Japanese, for some reason, is not top palate like I speak very nasal high end. But when I try to speak Japanese, it goes more larynx.
Yeah.
And arigato gozaimasu. And I'm not speaking top palate, which is weird. I don't know.
No, but that's a real thing. Like different languages, I feel, have different frequencies that stick out. If I play something in English, I can listen to it at a low volume and still understand it. But if it's Japanese, even if it's Japanese that I understand, I won't be able to hear it as well for some reason.
Because
So I think like my ear literally isn't tuned. To
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anyway,
it makes sense.
but that's why even if you don't understand it, watching anime, listening to stuff is important.
By the way, if you want the notes that Mato Sensei made for us, it'll be in the description.
But like I said, I'm not a teacher, just use this as a guide.
He's a guy with a guide. So do or don't do what the dude did. Okay.
Well, that was
Back to
hard
this.
because that
Thanks.
made sense, but only if I thought about it really hard.
Thank you. I get really smart when I put these glasses on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah, that's good. Let's learn how to count. I know ichi is one.
Mhm.
That's all I know.
Ni,
Ni,
san,
san. Ichi,
Shi.
ni, san. Shi.
or yon.
What do you mean or?
Yon.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just explain it because it's kind of cool to know. The other one is shi,
Okay.
but the reason that they usually choose yon is a superstition thing. Shi is exactly the same pronunciation as the word for death. That's why 4 is a oogie boogie number in Asian cultures.
yeah.
Same thing in Chinese. Japanese kanji have at least 2 pronunciations. One pronunciation that's close to the original Chinese, and there's one that's traditional Japanese.
So the same symbol has at least 2 different meanings. Great.
Hachi. So 9 is not Q, but Q
Q.
extended.
Q.
Same thing with 10. It's not Ju, it's Ju.
Ju.
You get these?
Yeah.
You know all the numbers up until 99.
Sick.
Like 20, for example, you have to say 210.
So niju.
Niju. Like let's say even 99. You could figure it out just by
Q, Q.
no. You have to say 9, 10, 9.
Q,
Yeah, 9, 10,
Ju.
9.
Q.
Exactly, yeah.
What's the actual date right now?
October 10th.
Oh man, I have less days than I thought. I actually only have 13 days. I actually have 2 weeks. But I will still be learning in Japan. I mean, I can't think of a better way to practice than being in Japan. So let's just say I got till day 20.
Convenience store in Japanese is konbini.
Yeah,
Konbini
yeah.
and store.
If you know anything about Japan, you know that the convenience stores are half of the reason why you go there. So, Mato Sensei found us a survival guide for konbinis and also restaurants with basically all of the common phrases they say.
Please wait a moment. Thank you for waiting.
Adjectives.
You probably know kawaii,
Yeah, kawaii and kakui, yeah.
kakui. Oishii.
Oishi was what?
You know that one?
No.
It means like yummy, tasty.
I don't do a step forward to say thanks.
To emphasize gratitude.
Yeah, like thank you for being so kind or something. Or
A word that you can add is hontoni.
Hontoni.
It means like really. If you added before. It's
So,
like, hontoni
hontoni-
arigatou gozaimasu.
Hontoni arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah. Sounds like thank you very much.
Hontoni kawaii?
Oh,
Can I
yeah.
say
If you
that?
see a cute girl, like hontoni kawaii.
Hontoni oishii desu. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll find it cute. Yeah.
Score.
They'll find you kawaii.
Make it look like I know what I'm talking about. Then they talk to me in like fluent Japanese, and I'm like,
That might be a good idea to learn how to convey that you don't understand.
yeah, that's a good idea.
You remember this word?
Sumimasen.
Sumimasen.
Second.
That means like sorry. So you're apologizing for what you're about to say next. Wa karimasen. This just means sorry, I don't understand. Sumimasen. Wakarimasen. You could also say English.
English.
Honestly, you'd be surprised how many English words are in Japanese, first of all, but they're just the English words pronounced in Japanese. So
And yeah.
it might sound super racist and cringy, but like if you're in a pinch, just try to say things in a Japanese
Like that,
accent.
yeah.
Or if they said something you might have understood, but you just want them to say it again. Mo ikkai.
Mo. Ikai.
Ikkai.
Oh, because there's a double.
Because there's a double
pause.
K, there's a
rest.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Mo.
Ikkai.
Sumimasen mo ikai.
One more time.
Mo ikai.
Oh, it's the
Is
same.
that it?
It's the same.
Syllables, I guess,
It's the
yeah.
same one syllable.
The san stuff and sama. Like, what are the differences of these things?
Levels of respect. Like their language in general, there are multiple layers of respect.
Okay.
So lowest level is nothing at all. You're just John.
Wow.
Like if we're classmates, but we're not necessarily like best friends, like Jong-kun. Classmates, you're always talking casually because you're equal.
Yeah, okay,
It's a
yeah.
hierarchical thing. If you're talking to a stranger, you'd probably add san. Higher would be sama. You know the expression in English, the customer is always right?
Yeah.
There's a Japanese one which translates to the customer is God.
Okay.
So that's why they have really good customer service. Whenever they're talking to you, they'll call you sama. It's hi. It's
Okay,
hi.
okay.
That's what's cool about that politeness thing is that you could tell people's relationships by the way they talk. So it's like, oh wow, this kid called his dad sama. Wow, his dad must be really like strict,
Yeah.
old fashioned.
So then what would I call you?
We would be past that point, so we wouldn't really use a suffix.
Oh, so we're just like back to rude is the casual way?
It's not actually literally rude. It's just that the lower,
it's
you,
just
the lower
not
you
as
go,
polite.
the less of a wall there is.
Yeah.
Chan is funny because like it's a cutesy way of calling someone. It's usually used for girls. I call my friend Kana. I call her Kana-chan.
Okay, that makes
Even though
sense.
we're the same age, it doesn't really matter. I have one of my older Japanese friends. She calls me Mat-chan.
All of this Japanese stuff, it opens up this world of ideologies that I had in my mind already that I was never able to put words into. I have that separation of like cutesy, but like not a kid.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I have all those in my brain. There's just no words that exist for me to have
but
that.
Japanese express
But they
like
have
that.
it.
Yo, I completely agree. You can't translate it into English, but it means something in the nuance. If you introduce yourself to someone,
Yeah.
you don't put san at the end. It sounds like arrogant in a way. Vegeta uses this in Dragon Ball. He refers to himself as Vegeta-sama.
Oh, okay.
Because he's super cocky
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to make other people know that he's cocky.
I'm having way more fun than I actually thought it was going to have.
I'm glad, man.
Thank you. Seriously. Like, I was
Oh,
going to say at
it's-
the end,
it's
but
my
like,
pleasure.
Holy cannoli, I appreciate this. This and that. Those three words we're going to need. Kore to sore.
Let's say you're at a restaurant that has sushi and ramen. You could say like, sushi to ramen.
Sushi to ramen kudasai.
O kudasai, yeah.
Oh, kudasai.
If you forget the O, it doesn't matter. It still
Okay.
sounds fine.
Okay, cool. Onegai shimasu. Why say that and not okudasai?
I guess no reason. It sounds nicer because it literally means I'm making a wish to you. Like for example, they go to shrines and temples to pray.
Yeah.
They do a onegai.
Kore to kore onegai shimasu.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. If I want to add on my order, sumimasen, they come and then say mizu okudasai.
Mizu o kudasai. Yeah.
Mizu-
Yeah, you just wave like sumimasen.
I'm starting to like not be intimidated anymore. But the second you leave and I'm on my own, I'm like, what is this?
I mean, I'm always a phone call away.
Mato sensei explained to me I barely have to use the word I, like I am going to Japan. It's seen as a very foreigner thing to do to just slap watashi everywhere. Most of the time, it's not needed, so I'm not practicing it.
Do you want to say Japan in Japanese?
No, what is it?
Nihon.
Nihon. Ikimasu ka Nihon.
Subject comes first.
Nihon ikimasu. Nihon ikimasu ka.
You're asking them?
Nihon ikimasu.
Yeah.
Si, señor.
So basically what you can learn is a couple country names, and whenever you want to say you're from a country, you just add the suffix jin.
Canada jin, America jin, Italia jin, Sui jin. What's sui
Well,
mean?
sui is an alternative pronunciation of the character for mizu.
Oh, really?
Funny you mentioned that. I happen
Oh, there it is. It's
I
true.
happen to have it.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
This-
Sui jin.
This character in the middle
Yeah.
is the character for water. It's mizu.
Oh, nice. Mizu.
Remember I said there are often at least two pronunciations
Yeah.
for a character? Mizu is the normal Japanese pronunciation, and sui is the
Sui.
adapted Chinese pronunciation.
Is that what the top?
That's what water
Yeah.
the types in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's always the Chinese character for it. Like kazejin, kaze means
Yeah.
wind, and this character that's on him and that's on the attribute
Yeah.
is
These cards have
kaze.
so much nostalgia in these cards, man.
Yeah, I know. Same thing with
Hinotama?
This literally
Fire?
means ball of fire. Hinotama.
What's fire? Hino?
Hi.
He.
You know this card?
Niwatori, yeah.
Niwatori. That just means chicken.
Oh, really?
Niwatori means chicken.
Niwatori. So if I ask for niwatori, okudasai.
It's niwatori is when you're talking about the live animal.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there's a word for live animal and a word for... That
Meat,
actually makes
for
sense.
meat. Chicken, the meat would be tori niku. Niku means meat.
Hitotsu, mi giant.
How would you say me?
Me.
Hitotsu is another way of saying one, like when you're counting objects. Me means I,
One-eyed giant.
the one-eyed giant.
Wow. This is pretty sick.
Umi just means sea or ocean.
Sea.
Yami just means darkness.
Ojama.
Ojama means a pest or like a pain or like someone that's in the way.
Okay, that's pretty fitting for ojamas.
Yeah, because one of their things is that they lock zones, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
This one I explained to you before, but the des is actually supposed to be not the des for polite form that we learned, not
Yeah.
the deska. The des from like Death Note. So Death Note in Japanese is desu no oto.
Whoa.
So this des actually means death.
Yeah.
So like the actual Japanese card, they were actually meant like
Death kangaroo.
Death kangaroo, yeah.
Why are kangaroos set as like boxers all the time? Kangaroo Jack, this kangaroo, other kangaroos.
Because don't they actually box?
I don't know. Do they? Because they bring up their fists.
Jinzo literally means man-made. Like for example, remember the androids in Dragon Ball Z? They were also called Jinzo, but to make it android, they had the word for human, which is ningen.
Oh, okay.
Jinzo ningen.
Jinzo Ningen.
That's what his Japanese name is.
Man-made human?
Man-made human, yeah.
Fast forward 6 hours. We formulated a day-by-day plan that I'm going to go through for 2 hours every day. Review common/relevant stuff. Konbini phrases, which is convenient store phrases. 1,000 common words, the ones that we choose that are going to be relevant. And sentence structures.
I think it's cool to have a bunch of plug-and-play stuff. You can have this structure, you know where the X's go, and then you plug in the words that you learn up here.
Now let's quickly go over the recommended resources.
These first 3 are 3 different potential dictionary apps. Honestly, what you should do, you should download all of them and see which interface you like the most.
Okay.
This one is only if you want to actually get into the pitch thing, the accent. It's a dictionary for emphasis.
To say if it's up or down?
Exactly. That's how it
cool.
works. One that I like a lot, this might be more if you want to look up like an expression in English that you really want to translate. It's called high native. 2 birds with 1 stone. You ask a question to a forum. I guess they have an AI thing. What the heck is this? Stuff like that doesn't come up as well in dictionaries. Because
Makes sense.
You're asking for a set phrase. So Youglish is a sick resource that I found recently. You type in a Japanese word of your choice. It searches, I think, a YouTube database for every instance that word appears.
Oh, nice.
We're going to get a lot of hits for like desu ka, for example.
Yeah.
今ハマっているものなんですか?
Here it says nan desu ka.
Any YouTube channel that I could just like put on?
I like Miku. She has a lot of different levels, but yeah. Remember I was saying at the beginning, the JLPT, the levels are 5 to 1. So these ones are N5, meaning it's a lower difficulty one. But even at that, like some of this is still going to be hard for you.
Yeah, I bet, yeah. If you want to use the same resources as me, for a dictionary, I'm mainly using one called Japanese. Kana learning and writing, I'm using one called Japanese. Learn Japanese. I'm not focusing on writing, it's just to help internalize and put another sense to the characters. For grammar and vocab, I'm using Duolingo. What I don't like about Duolingo is I'm learning like words like mizu, whatever. But then they also teach me words like lawyer. And I'm like, stop, I don't want that in my...
In the beginning?
Yeah. Let's go through a quick short summary because repetition is good when you're trying to learn a language. We got our survival phrases. Where is the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? How much is this?
The important stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Survival phrases.
And then we have the I don't know moments, which is very going to be very helpful for when my Japanese is just so good that they think I'm not a foreigner.
And they start just talking to you completely naturally.
Yeah, completely, yeah. So then I say sumimasen or akarimasen.
Nice.
And then
No capiche.
mo ikai, which is one more time.
And if you want to make that sound a bit nicer, you could add the onegaishimasu at the end.
That is enough for someone to learn Japanese in 13 days or 20 days.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we have no clue.
We'll see.
Arigato gozaimasu, sensei. Yes, that's it.
What if you were like really, really grateful to me?
Wait. Hontou ni onegai shimasu. No, that's the please one. Hontou ni arigato gozaimasu.
Oh.
Sensei.
Ah, that's right. That's right. So you just did 3 days worth.
Yeah, I'm a head start. I can't even read this manga yet.
You can't even read it yet?
It's been a whole day. I still gotta read this manga of naked Goku.
Yeah. I think there's naked Bulma at some part too. What are you looking at?
Say bye, Matt. I'll see you again.
Bye, Matt.
This is gonna be harder than I thought it was gonna be. I feel like I don't have enough time. Right now I'm driving and I'm putting on Spotify playlists, fall asleep to Japanese, 15 words that's constantly repeated, and things are starting to connect in my brain. When they say desu ka, I can understand that, okay, that's a question. Des. That's not a question, that's just like a statement. Subject first is such a good thing for me to remember, and I am remembering that. So my plan right now is to just like keep cycling through everything I've been doing, everything on that detailed game plan list, and practice. The plug and play section that he made for me was absolutely a game changer. This is what's gonna help me succeed and reach my goal. I've been using Duolingo a lot. I've been using Learn Japanese app a lot, and Jaccent, which is very good to learn Hashi. There's also this guy who explains pitch accent very well.
Go up the bridge, so intonation up だぜ. Hashi, chopsticks, you go down because you put chopsticks down on the table だよね.
It's fun because I'm just a couple days in and I'm starting to make phrases in my head. Like, it takes me time, but I can make it. Doko densha. No. Kono densha wa doko ni arimasu ikimasu ka. I can say Ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning. Konnichiwa, which is hello, I think. And I started learning the counting. I got ichi, ni, san, yon, Go. I don't remember 6. Something's hachi. And then 9 is Q, 10 is Ju. And I know that o'clock, like for time, is like Ji. So 3 o'clock would be Sanji. I've also been quizzing myself as I go. The Japanese app, I can put my own cue cards, which has been very helpful. You can include all the words that you know. You can do like a slideshow study, suru. And you're like, what does suru mean? I think it means to do. To do. And then you swipe over. Iku means go. Place, tokoro. Tokoro. Oh my God, I'm getting good. Tea. Ocha. Ocha kudasai. Tea, please. The whole particles thing, like when to put wa, when to put ni. It's a little bit confusing, but all I need to remember is wa before noun, ni before verb. I know words like ocha, which is tea. Gohan is rice. Uishi is yummy. Uishi burrito desu. I know kakui, which is cool. Kawaii, which is cute. Wait. Kawaii. Kawaii is cute. Kawaii is scary. Yasashi is nice. Torniku is chicken. Sakana is fish. Toire is toilet. Toire wa doko desu ka? Daijoubu desu. I don't know what that means, but I remember that one. I'm like really enjoying learning Japanese in every way. Everything about it is just really fun for me. Last night I dreamt in Japanese, and I'm not even kidding. I was at a restaurant in Japan trying to speak Japanese with the knowledge that I have now. I was like, Sakana wa arimasu ka? The Japanese people in my dream were like, oh no, we speak English, it's fine. And I was like, but I want to practice. All right, 8 days in, I've been spending my time cycling through the notes, saying out loud everything I'm reading, mainly practicing anything I can put before deska or arimasu ka, dare, nande, do, yate. Besides that, most of my word learning has been from Duolingo and Learn Japanese app. Every day I'm still doing the Learn Japanese in Your Sleep podcast if I'm in the car or walking. Oh, and they have many different ways of counting something, whether it's an object, a person, or an animal, but we're definitely giving up on that, sticking to Ichi-ni-san. Good enough is what we're striving for. And honestly, for good enough, 2 hours a day is not enough. We have a little bit of a problem here. Matt had a good point. He said it's pretty much all about the situations I want to put myself in. And I know what situations I want to put myself in. Shopping. I want to buy a bunch of stuff. Sometimes it's good not to be materialistic, but this time it's good for me to be materialistic. I want to fill this wall with stuff. Don't mind the mess. It's a mess. So I want to do some shopping and I want to be kind to the workers that are there. I don't want to just go in and make it seem like I'm just, I want this, I want that. And honestly, my biggest goal would be to have a small conversation with a local there. We got 6 days to go. That's less than a week and I didn't even start practicing the phrases that people will tell me. I'll be like, Densha wa doko desu ka? And they'll be like, doo-doo. And I won't know anything that they're saying. I've been going on Duolingo on my phone and I've been clicking learn the characters. It gives you like hints and tips and stuff, which is very, very helpful. Some of these pronunciations don't exist in English, so they give you the tips, which is good. If kana wasn't complicated enough, adding 2 lines changes pronunciation. But the good thing is, if you learn most of the kana, it kind of makes sense. Sensei. I've been practicing that for like a long time. I've also been working on not sounding like a robot. Instead of saying des, you would say like desne, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a friendly feel. It's like for us saying, that's cool, eh? Yeah, that would be kakui desne. Wow, that wasn't planned. I actually got it. We're learning Japanese. Now I can say Italian to Canada jin to Nihon jin desu. And I will be looking for figures of noragami. So I'm going to have to say, Sumimasen, noragami no figura wa arimasu ka? Remember, the subject is always first. Densha, train. Densha wa doko desu ka? Where's the train? Eki. Eki means station. Eki wa doko desu ka? Although if they reply to me, I can't even understand what they're saying. Time-wise, not doing so good, but I think I'm doing great in like the grand scheme of things. I wanted to make myself a routine to practice more because 2 hours a day isn't enough. But I ended up just not working at all. I woke up, had a glass of water, practiced Japanese, went to the grocery store, practiced Japanese, didn't work, practiced Japanese, made food, practiced Japanese. I don't know why, but I'm extremely hyper-focused on this. Gosh, the days are moving fast. I want to tell you that I've learned new things, but honestly, I've just been reviewing everything I've been doing. I've been texting Matt a lot. He's been texting me back in Japanese to help me practice. And thankfully, I can put that text into this dictionary and it tells you what each word means. I've also been messaging my new AI friend on High Native, which honestly is a really big help, so I strongly recommend using High Native. I FaceTimed Mato sensei a couple times and he ran through some scenarios with me, role-playing me being the customer, him being the waiter or the konbini clerk. There was a lot of pressure doing that, and I think it really did help me. And of course, I thought it was pretty cool, so I texted my sister her name in Japanese. Konnichiwa, Jawny desu. Kore wa nan desu ka? Nihongo? I don't know actually if that makes any sense, but I think it makes sense. We are technically 4 days away, maybe more. I'll get to that in a bit, but right now let's pretend we're just 4 days away, and I've been practicing into my translator app. Last time I tried to say something in there, it understood me saying I am a high school. That wasn't good, but now I'm better. Sure, a lot of random words just splurt into my brain like onegaishimasu, but I'm retaining information. I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna be able to speak a little bit. I even asked some more questions in the High Native app, got some real people answering my questions too on how to say, do you have a black Pokemon shirt? I think that's what it was. Pokemon no shatsu wa arimasu ka? Hai, arimasu. Pokemon shatsu wa karui? One sec. Pokemon shatsu wa kuroi desu. Let's go! Let's go! Things are finally starting to click, even though Mato sensei told me like 20 times. I'm making the realization in my own brain. Wasen is the negative term for things. Arimasen, don't have. Wakarimasen, don't understand. Wakarimashita, I understand. It's a new thing I understand. Wakarimasu, I already understand. When I was thinking about it, I realized the more I know how to write and read, the less I need to talk. And if I can get the basics of both, because you can always learn quicker in the beginning and then it kind of slows down a little bit. So if I can get like the max for both, then optimization. And I think tomorrow I'm going to start learning some very basic kanji, because I want to be able to read certain things like atsui, which means hot. I know that, but if it's written in kanji, I don't know what it is. Spicy, water. It's also really cool. I can recognize some characters in my manga. This would actually be ka, but since it has the two little lines there, it makes it ga. So it's like ga 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 ga. English translation for that is whack. So doesn't it sound the same at all? But I guess it kind of means the same thing. Whack 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 ga ga ga. I'm happy. Okay, it's working. It's working out. I'm happy. Okay, now the not so exciting news. Got some news for our plane in Japan, and it's not looking so good. We got the tickets for cheaper because my bro Skaruni Ian works at the airport. The problem with that is it means we're on standby until the day of the flight. And when I asked him, how's it going? This is what he responded. 4 days passed. I had absolutely no time to film. And honestly, I had to miss 2 days of Japanese practice because I had two 17-hour work days. The time I had, I was just building sentences I think I would need if I made it to Japan. Now we're at the airport. All right, Ian's at the front. There's a couple people left in line to get into the plane. They said it was full, but he's double checking to see if we can actually get in. So now I'm nervous. Now we wait. I feel it in my stomach. Oh, he's walking back. He's walking. Where is he?
There's no update yet.
There's no update yet?
No update yet. We have to wait until literally everybody's in there. Until everybody gets in, and then they'll see how many seats there is available.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Nutrition facts. Very healthy.
Take our word for it.
Passenger
That's none of us. None of that is us.
That's what it was.
I know, but like,
Oh shit, but if none of those show.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you're right. So they just called 7 people. If those people don't show up, that means there's 7 free seats on the plane. The problem is there's -3 seats available. So literally all 7 people have to not make it. That's true. That's a lot of seats. Now I'm starting to get nervous, actually.
This is the final boarding call.
There's hope, but we're not the only ones on standby. So Ian had to use his priority passes to get us hopefully on the top of the list. And all of it was totally for An amazing journey because we made it to Japan. And let me tell you, everyone was speaking Japanese. Speaking about learning Japanese, I am probably at my 20-day limit right now. So a success, we survived. I'm still here in Japan.
You're welcome.
So it looks like 13 days of learning Japanese before you get to Japan is actually enough. All of the speaking stuff I was able to use, like the wa arimaskas. Yeah. Toire wa doko desu ka? Kore wa ikura desu ka? The other day I was walking the streets and I found a little snack. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it was this soy sauce, brown sugary dough thing. When I went there, I was like, Konnichiwa, osusume wa nan desu ka? And they were like, you like sweet or you like bitter, I think it was. Doesn't matter. The point is, she understood what I meant and she gave me something. I said sweet, by the way. Oishii desu. Learning Japanese, success. What are you watching? Look, you can't learn Japanese in 13 or 20 days. But will you be able to have enough basics to survive in, let's say, Tokyo? Yeah, by far. You can honestly go most of this trip without talking. But if you want to actually have fun and understand when the konbini clerk is asking if you want a bag or something, learn a little bit of Japanese. Follow what I did. It only takes literally like 13 to 20 days. The app that I used to learn, the one that's called Learn Japanese, it's free for the first couple of lessons. Right before we started flying on the plane, I bought the app because I realized you didn't need data or internet to use it. It actually helped me a lot more than Duolingo did. So if you want to use an app to do some learning stuff, this Learn Japanese one is great. Just keep in mind, you do have to learn hiragana and katakana. If you don't want to learn writing, it's totally fine. Just look at Ian and Alex. They don't understand any of the writing. And Alex talks to everybody, actually. Okay, here's a story. Can I tell them the story of what happened at the bar last night? Remember, even with the bare minimum, people will appreciate that you spend time to learn the language. It'll show your respect for the land and honestly make things a little less awkward. I personally had an awesome interaction with someone that I kind of barely spoke with, a lot of Google Translate here, but it was pretty equal because my limited Japanese was equal to his limited English. I think he wanted to hang out after work, but I couldn't find his Instagram he gave me. I should have told him to subscribe. Thanks for watching.